Hey guys, it's Queen auset-heru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, pass it on to somebody else who might like it too, and drop us a positive comment in the comment section. And don't forget to stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to read out 2 of my favorite comments, and one of them might be yours. All right, guys, so today we're going to talk about Aquarius and relationship sabotage. Okay, so somebody said to me, a subscriber said to me, that she had a situation with an Aquarius and she wanted me to listen to the situation and tell her if this was a normal thing for Aquarius to do. Okay, so I was like, sure, no problem, I'll listen, no problem. So what she told me was that she has a relationship with an Aquarius. Now, this relationship has happened in 2 different parts. Okay, so the first part of the relationship, they were just friends. They were truly friends. He barely called her, they barely talked, they just slowly gravitated towards each other. Now, over the course of time, of them gravitating towards each other, it took about a year. They finally ended up together. So by the end of the year, she was really very happy because the relationship was going extremely well. He had told his family about her. They had met each other's family, some kind of family dinner they had had together. She said that he was spending the night. He had several items of his at her home, which, as a woman, if a man feels comfortable to leave his belongings at your home, that is in general a good sign. So she was like, Queen, I was hyped. He was leaving stuff. He had a toothbrush in the bathroom. I was like, we in there. After all of this time, we're finally in there. And I was like, okay, I feel you. So she said that was the first part. Now, at the end of that year, he had been spending all his nights with her. They had been doing all kind of couples things together. They weren't fighting. The sex was amazing. She's a Virgo. She has her own life, so she wasn't clingy or bothering him. And they were doing pretty good, she thought. So she said that morning, they got up. They both went to work. And when she came back home, all his stuff was gone. Everything. And it wasn't like a lot of stuff, and it wasn't like stuff that he needed to take back to his place. But she noticed that he had went through the apartment and taken all of his belongings. So she said she didn't think nothing of it. She thought maybe, he had somewhere to go and needed his stuff. She didn't even think much of it. But she noticed it because it was the first time he had done something like that, and it was strange. So then she told me that she waited a couple hours. She didn't say anything. She didn't text him. She didn't do anything. She waited a couple hours. And when she went on Instagram, she noticed that he hadn't posted. And every day he's posting pictures and things like that on Instagram. And she realized that he had blocked her. So he had blocked her on Instagram. So she called him. It went right to voicemail. She texted him. He didn't respond. So she said now she's sitting there like, is he dead? Did somebody kidnap him? Like, what happened to him? Well, the Aquarius never came back. He never called her. He never responded to her. He never came back. A couple of months later, she was in downtown Philadelphia, and she said she saw him at the gas station. And she said at first she started not to say anything, but then she said curiosity got the better of her because she wanted to know, why did he walk away from a happy relationship? She said she could see if they had been fighting or not getting along, but they were pretty much happy. So why would you walk away? So she said that when he went in to pay for his gas, she followed him and she asked him, like, hey, how you doing? What's up? And he looked shook, like startled, like he couldn't believe he was seeing her. And she said, before he had a chance to run, I asked him, so what happened? What's up? I haven't seen you and you haven't said anything. Did something go wrong? Was it me? Did I say something? And she said that he was very hesitant. And he started to walk to his car. And she said she followed him. She's a Virgo, so she was like, I'm gonna get my information. So she followed him. And he said finally that he said, you know, to be honest with you, I was afraid. The relationship was progressing and I was just afraid the other shoe was going to fall. I could feel myself, you know, really falling in love. And I don't want to fall in love. I don't want to do that. So she asked me, is this normal? Is this normal Aquarian behavior? And I'm like, yeah. But honestly, it's normal for those of us who are the most emotionally damaged. A regular Aquarius is looking for love. You know, a regular, especially like a third decan Aquarius. Some of the other ones are open, but a third decan is actively looking for it in most cases. But the bottom line is that a healthy Aquarius is non-committal in a lot of cases. We won't commit easily, but if we find something that we like it, we love it, you're falling in love, most of us will hang in there for that, even though it might be scary. For an Aquarius to sabotage a happy, healthy relationship means you're dealing with a very damaged Aquarius who has not healed some wounds from the past. So she went on to tell me that basically that's what he said to her. And then they started to call each other because he had somewhere to go. So he said, listen, I'm going to call you. So he did. That night he called her, they talked it out, and they decided to be friends. Now, mind you, this was quite some time ago. So this has progressed again, and they're back in the same situation again. He's back there. His stuff is there again. They're hanging out all the time. Everything is back and actually more intense than it was before. So she said to me, I'm scared. And I'm like, what are you afraid of? And she's like, I'm afraid he's going to leave again because things were good when he left the last time. Now they're amazing was her word. And I'm afraid he's going to pick up and leave again. And I said to her, you know, I totally understand you feeling that way. And the question really is, has he healed from the trauma that caused him to be in this space in the first place? So if I were you, and this was my advice to her, I would not allow myself to fall deeply if that wasn't the case. I would talk to him about it. I would need to really see it demonstrated to me that he was okay, that he was in a healthy space, because he could do it again. I've seen Aquarius sabotage healthy relationships more than once. I was talking to an Aquarius once, and he was talking about his sister, his biological blood sister. And he said, it's a good thing I'm not attached to her. And I was like, isn't that your sister? What do you mean you're not attached to her? And he said, people always come and go. I'm not getting attached to nobody. And he said it very nonchalant, like, you know, just blew it off, you know. And I was just thinking to myself, aha, so you sabotage all your relationships. You keep people at an arm's distance and you do shit. Because in his case, he does stuff to push people away. And I was like, all of this has to do with the fact that you're afraid of being abandoned. You're afraid of somebody hurting you. So you push them away before they can hurt you. That's a hurt person's game. An Aquarius, non-Aquarius, anybody doing that is a person who has some trauma that has not been healed. And the smartest thing to do as somebody who's seeing them or dating them is not to get caught up. I would never get serious about a person like that unless they were working on it. If he was doing self-help books, if he was going to therapy, if he was really working on it, I'm going to go 20 rounds with you. But if he's not working on it, you're setting yourself up for a failure. She said the other day she was so terrified because he took his clothes out of the closet. But come to find out, he had only taken them to the cleaners. So that situation has left her a little scarred and a little fearful herself. And I was like, you need to talk to him about it, and you need to make sure that he is doing what he has to do to be okay to show up in this relationship before you get your feelings hurt. So if you have an Aquarius that pushes you away or keeps you at an arm's distance because of some reason that you don't know, it probably has something to do with their fear that you're going to hurt them or abandon them. And that is a very disturbed, deeply disturbed person. And you got to be really careful when dealing with them because you will get hurt. All right, let's take a look at some of our comments. We got some favorite comments. Michelle Griffin said, yes, Queen, I need romance or I'll have to go. That's me all day. If a relationship is not romantic and passionate, and I am very idealistic, you guys have got to know that, but if a relationship is not passionate and romantic, I'm not hanging around. Deuces, because I feel like I can do that by myself. What's the point of having a companion that there's no romance with? Oh, can't do it. All right, let's see. Chris Kelly. Hey, Chris. Chris said, I just went through the same thing at work. She was cool peeps. She a supervisor, but I was working with her before she became a supervisor. I got hurt. I was out for 8 months on workman's compensation. Came back, then she became a supervisor while I was away. I shot my shot. I shoot my shot. I felt like she liked me. We text twice and that's it. If she don't never text back, I was just in a similar situation. If we don't talk outside of work, she definitely involved with someone else. I felt her vibration change. At my job, we're not allowed to date anyone. Only if you get fired or quit, then it's okay to date. Their job probably like that too. Yeah, I'm thinking so. I think that maybe their job, a lot of jobs don't allow what they call, was that fraternization, I think they call it. A lot of jobs don't allow that. And like you said, if a person's vibration switches up, especially like in your case, Chris, if she became a supervisor and switched up, I definitely would fall back because you're not allowed to do it at work anyway. And now she's a supervisor, so she got a lot more to lose. And the situation that Chris is responding to is the same kind of thing going on. And the guy was wondering, did this woman like him? She definitely likes him, but a lot of people don't like to, get caught up at work. It can be really bad. I've been in that situation before. I'm gonna tell you guys, I was in that situation before, and whenever we had a fight, going to work was even worse. Work was already bad. But when we had a fight, that made it worse. So, nah, I'm good. All right, guys, come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.